young man named Dick Rowland. He was a shoe shine guy in a park in a thriving and a most beautiful community that contained their own wealth and their own fortunes. This particular day, Dick Rowland had to use the bathroom. As he entered the Drexel building to use the bathroom, he was in haste to get back to work. So he ran upon an elevator once set on page 17. Now at this time, people, in segregation in a racial fueled environment, you were not, absolutely not, to be caught along with the white man. He put himself in the elevator and to no display out of nowhere, Sarah page 17 screamed. Dick Rowland ran out of the elevator in haste, which caused panic and misbelief the stories he raped or touched, which no one really knows. As this happened, the Tulsa, Oklahoma sheriff went to apprehend Mr.
Dick Rowland? Come here, boy. I've been looking for you. Yeah, you did. How do you know what I'm talking about? Turn around. Tell me where touching that white woman. You know you niggers don't be touching no white women. What's wrong with you, boy? Get up in there. Get up in there. Yeah. Don't be quiet. Don't ask for nothing.
At this time, there were pressures and mobs forming all around Tulsa, Oklahoma, to lynch the black man as they like to do. But in this case, this formerly known neighborhood of Greenwood, commonly known as Black Wall Street, there were 4 veterans that was not allowing any type of misconduct on Mr. Rowland's part. So the 4 gentlemen approached the sheriff and said, "Sheriff, we would like to see Mr. Rowland and make sure the security is safety in your jail."
What you need to see him for?
To make sure that Mr. Rowland is being
Mr.
treated
Rowland is
fairly.
all right. Mr. Rowland.
But it is his constitution to have visitors.
His constitution is held up. It's been processed.
So there won't be any lynchings.
No, there won't be any lynchings. I can guarantee you that.
That's good, sir. All due respect, sir. He's not going to hand nothing. Listen here, sir. Listen here, sir. All due respect. We're not leaving. We're going to wait out.
Y'all need to take y'all black asses back to the we've been doing all this.
We can't do that, sir. There's no center for our
Wait a
family.
minute. Wait a minute.
There were shots fired. Shots fired. The fuel fired more for the mob to come together. Now they're starting looting, rioting, fires, all type of mayhem have went down in this community. At one point in time, it was a beautiful community where they had churches to pray. Burn it down. Burn it down. Burn it down. Burn it down. Bob, there were multiple planes bombing Tulsa, Oklahoma, Greenwood District, formerly known as Black Wall Street, which leveled a whole city block, which took lives more than 68 to 300. 10,000 people were homeless. The insurance companies did not want to, let's say, reimburse or cover the losses. Legislation tried to be put in place, but they blocked us in every way due to the racial motivated era and time of this incident. Wow. As you can see, as we place the board, Tulsa, Oklahoma had their own banks. They had their own utility stores. The riot destroyed mostly everything and reduced it to rubble. In this day and age, it's happening all over America. Nothing has changed but the seasons and time. 75 years later, 100 years after the massacre, there was a lady named Viola Fletcher who testified before Congress on May 31st, 2021. And she's quoted, "I went to bed in my family's home in Greenwood," she recounted. "The neighborhood I fell asleep in that night was rich, not just in wealth, but in culture and heritage." She said, "My family had a beautiful home. We had great neighbors, had great friends to play with. She felt safe. I had everything a child could need. I had a bright future. Then she said, came the murderous rampage. Still crying 100 years later. I still see black men being shot, black bodies lying on the street. I still smell smoke, see fire. I still see black businesses being burned that was built with hard blood and sweat. They generated their own money through their own selves. They worked and they spent in black communities, black businesses. They had their own banking system. It lets you know, ladies and gentlemen, that black people were first of all, let me tell you, Tulsa, Oklahoma had the only black millionaires at that time in the United States, which in today would have been a $1 billion business because they had their own oil refineries. This story is a very influential and important story. We have all the other stories which is just as important. Malcolm, Martin, Emmett Till. But we know about those stories. We don't really talk about the little communities on the other side of the country that was doing just as well as the white people. And they got decimated, burned, destroyed. Senseless massacres, murders, because of a simple misunderstanding, which now we have the same thing. It's just hidden. It's a hidden agenda. It's a different reality, but the same situation. Different faces, different places, same situations. Racial equality must continue to thrive and grow. We can't stop. We can't stop at Malcolm. We can't stop at Martin. We can't stop at Rosa Parks. We can't stop at addiction. Racism is not going nowhere. The same way addiction ain't going nowhere. We must fight individually to combat these simple problems. And this is one important moment in black history that should never, ever be forgotten. Thank you for coming today.
Malcolm X was born on May 1925 in Omaha, Nebraska. He was assassinated on February 21st, 1965 at the Audubon Theater. He had 7 kids by his wife, Betty Shabazz. They were married in 1958 through 1965, 7 years before he was assassinated. The assassination was located in Washington Heights, Manhattan. This is one of the 4 assassinations of that era. It was 2 years after JFK and 3 years before Martin Luther King.
Welcome, my brothers and sisters. Today I have an important message for the so-called Negro. We ourselves have to lift our communities to a higher level. To make our own society beautiful so that we will be satisfied with our own accomplishments. We declare our right on this earth to be treated as human beings, to be respected as human beings, and to be given the rights of a human being in this society, in this day which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary. Uncle Sam's hands are dripping with the blood of the colored people. These savages have murdered and raped our people. They have stolen our identity, falsely accused and imprisoned us without remorse. We, the so-called Negro, are tired of the lies and the hypocrisy of the oppressors. We will no longer stand by and watch our people be killed by these devils. My purpose of this speech this evening color, and let the world know that the true Afro-American Negro has arrived this day. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, to unmask racism in this country. The true hatred of the oppressor, he's the Earth's #1 hypocrite. But no, the solution to this problem is unity for all people. To love one another. As we will no longer stand by it all while the black race is continuously being destroyed at the hands of this wicked government system, whose intentions is to bring the black race into extinction. The time is now to fight against injustice and the devilish behavior of the oppressor. I agree with the words of the Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King when he said, "We shall overcome someday. That day begins now." One day the chickens will come home to roost. Until then, let it be the ballot or the whip. Calm down, brothers. Calm down. Everything's
This month, we're going to put a highlight on the story about Ship Thompson and John Joseph C. Kennedy. Nobody really hear about it. We all know that this is information. It happened to real people. Joseph C. Kennedy was a man, he had rights to preach, he was a rights one day while walking on the beach, around his business, he was picked up, snatched up, Mark. On his boat. Somebody was on his boat. Joseph said he had enough. He wasn't feeling being chained in the bottom of that boat next to 50 other men, butt naked, stanky. He wasn't feeling that because he wasn't born like that. He was born enjoying the freedoms of everyday life. So, he decided to take matters into his own hand one day. Took his heart medicine, fat pill, eventually one day he made it up front. And it never happened. They didn't know anything about those things. They never been out. All right, I'll take you home. I'll take you home. I'll take you home. Calm down.
as the trick them so that they couldn't see where they were going to know where they were going. And so finally they land on shore in New York, Long Island somewhere. And so the U.S. Navy operated.
Hey, what's going on here? They killed the captain and captured us. You guys are under arrest under the authority of the United States Navy.
And so they were recaptured again. Short they were free. This is my first production, people. But anyway, so they were captured, they were sent to trial. But according to the U.S., at that time, it was illegal. Slave trading was legal in Spain at that time. So, you know what I'm saying, they were all basically free. So, you know, just imagine when you talk about the fighting spirit and, you know, do what we do and what it is that takes it to that, you know what I'm saying? You know, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Emmett Till, and all those guys, you know what I'm saying? Think about where it started. Those ships that was full of people who didn't know how to speak the language, they didn't know what was going on, but they still had the will and determination. They knew right from wrong. They knew they wasn't supposed to be chained like this.
Right.
They knew that they were men. They knew that they had to stand up for everybody that was going to come after them. That's what they knew. Even though they couldn't speak, and they were set free because of the, like I said, the illegal, it was illegal to the U.S. that the United States Supreme Court upheld it and set them free. And so only 39 out of 50, it was like 59 of them that actually made it on that boat, but only 36 of them made it back that survived the trip. You know what I'm saying? These represent that 36. And today,
On behalf of hearing the appeal for Martin Van Buren about the case of the homicide and who they belong to, this United States Supreme Court, in the case of the United States versus the homicide, 7-1, finds that these slaves are free men.
I left my piece in the truck. The foot, so it'll go click in there. I left it in there.
From the lower courts in a 7-1 decision on the grounds that slave trade was illegal in Spain at the time and was flying Spanish flags at the time. So that's what the court used to uphold this decision. This case is one of the first major civil rights cases and ended up setting the groundwork for the abolitionist movement. Although after the case was decided, they still had to raise funds to get back home to Sierra Leone. During this time, they worked with the abolitionist movement, going from town to town, raising money and raising awareness for this movement. This also set the groundwork as one of the main things that led to the Civil War, and set the groundwork 20 years later.
Right? And enjoying each other's company, because part of this process of recovery is recovering just from substance abuse, right? And we're recovering our history, we're recovering relationships, we're recovering in every area of our lives, okay? And we do not, again, remember our history, we got to do it to you. So without further ado, all those that are part of Mr. Biggs' group, it's on you.
good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Everybody give a warm welcome to Mr. President, Barack Obama.
Right, they got lost in the hallway. Mrs. Boyd. Rock done got lost.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome y'all. First, I'd like to thank Mr. Beard for welcoming me here. I am Barack Obama. Trump. I'm the first black president of the United States. Michelle can make it. But she's one of the reasons why I smile a lot. All right. Oh, we got here today to celebrate black. It's not about me. I was told a long time ago that the first will be last, the last will be first. But right now, I ask God to bring back the spirit. These spirits gonna speak through these jungles. Some have died, and some have dedicated their life to civil rights. Black people. I am an American. I was born in Hawaii.
You were not born in the U.S., you were Muslim.
What did you say, Donald
I
Trump?
said you were not born in the U.S., you were Muslim.
You go get his ass out of here. Not about me. It's about blackness.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Mark.
I had a dream. I had a dream that one day this nation will live out true meaning of this creed. This creed will be self-evident that men and women are created equal. I had a dream. I had a dream that little black boys and black girls and little black boys and white girls will walk together in the true meaning of brotherhood. I had a dream. I had a dream, and my dream is coming true. Ladies and gentlemen, I had a dream.
May your spirit rest in peace. When they spirit speak, happen.
Good evening, my brother and sister. My name is Matthew. First thing I want to say, our ancestors was set up footly, bamboozled. We did not land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. I am not a racist. I am against everything of racist and segregation. Every form of discrimination. I believe in human beings and that all human beings should be respected as such, regardless of their color. If you are not ready to die for freedom, put your freedom out of your vocabulary. Nobody can give you freedom. If you are a man, you take it.
You go get his ass out of here.
I'm so good. Rock those niggas out.
Again, it's not about me. It's how the spirit speaking. Because our ancestors speaking to us. The next spirit is speaking. It's cool. They know.
I was the first black mayor of Detroit, and I was elected in 1973 when I served 22 years. I attended DC High School and I overseen the Renaissance Building, Chrysler Plant, and Cobalt Hall.
I would like to see a black man win the presidency of the United States of America. That is why I supported Jesse. I told all black drug dealers and white drug dealers, take that shit across 8 Mile, because we'll have and I don't give a damn what anyone says. I'll be talking.
Next speaker to speak, Trayvon Martin.
Trayvon Martin. You got Skittles.
Trayvon Martin. I got murdered. Started out there. I'm black teenager being shot and killed. I hold my message. Hold my message, spread a message that Black Lives Matter. Because I should have the right to go to store, but I pack Skittles. God bless y'all.
The next speaker to speak,
I'm Huey P. Newton, African American revolutionary. I earned my PhD in social philosophy from the University of Carolina, Santa Cruz. I co-founded the Black Panther Party with Bobby Seale in 1966. The Black Panther Party was an African American left-wing organization advocating for the right of self-defense for black people in the United States. The Black Panther Party elites were greatly influenced by Brother Malcolm X. Under my leadership, the Black Panther Party founded over 60 community support programs, including food banks, medical clinics, sickle cell anemia tests, prison busing for families and inmates, legal advice seminars, clothing banks, housing cooperatives, and our own ambulance service. The most famous of these programs was the Free Breakfast for Children program, which fed thousands of impoverished children daily during the early 1970s. I also co-founded the Black Panther newspaper service, which became one of America's most widely distributed African-American newspapers. I was murdered on August 22nd, 1989. I have a message for the followers to come behind me. One thing you must learn, the first lesson you must learn as a revolutionary is that he is a doomed man. Hold on, wait, I might have said something. I said the first lesson the revolutionary must learn is that he is a doomed man.
The next speaker to speak, Emmett Lewis.
I'm the spirit of Emmett Lewis Till. I was born July 25th, 1941, in Chicago, Illinois. My mother was a single parent, therefore she had to work long hours just so we could maintain. I took on all the household responsibilities, cooking, cleaning, and even the laundry, so she wouldn't have to. I remember telling my mother she could work and bring home the money, everything else. In August of 1955, my great uncle Morris White came to visit from a place called Money, Mississippi, and offered to take me back so that I could visit my cousin. My mother said that I could go. It was summertime and school was out. After 3 days in Money, Mississippi, me and a group of teenagers went to Bryan's Grocery and Meat Market to buy refreshments. This was after we had worked a long day picking cotton in a hot afternoon sun. I purchased bubble gum. The other teenagers I was with said they didn't know what had happened. Either I whistled at, flirted with, or touched the hand of the store's white female clerk, who was also the store owner's wife, Caroline Bryan. 4 days later, at approximately 2:30, the morning of August the 28th, 1955, Roy Bryant, Caroline's husband, and his half-brother, J.W. Mia, kidnapped my body from my uncle. I was only 14 years old at the time. They beat my body brutally, dragged it into the banks of the Tallahassee River, shot it in the head, tied it up with barbed wire to a large metal bag and shoved my mutilated body into the water. My body was shipped back to Chicago for my mother out to have an open casket for the whole world to see the brutal hate crime. My body was displayed for 5 days and thousands came to view it. At that time, blacks couldn't serve on jury duty, despite the overwhelming evidence of the two defendants and widespread pleas for justice, even outside of Mississippi. On September the 23rd, 1955, a panel of white male jurors acquitted Brian Deere of all charges. The deliberation only lasted 67 minutes. Wow. And 3 months later, in January 1956, Brian and Millie Ann admitted to the crime, but they were protected by the double jeopardy laws. They were also paid $4,000 from Look magazine for their story. In 2007, over 50 years after the murder of my body, the woman who had claimed that I harassed her recanted parts of her account. Speaking to a historian, then at the age of 72 years old, Caroline Bryant admitted that I hadn't grabbed her at all. In her own words, she said, nothing that boy did could ever justify what happened to him. But that revolution was not made public until 2017. When her book was released. My death not only inspired local activists to fight for justice, it also sparked embers of resistance and brought the civil rights struggle. 100 days after my death, Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat and go to the back of the bus, which resulted in the Montgomery bus boycott and a later Supreme Court desegregation decision. Rosa Parks has been quoted as saying, I thought about going to the back of the bus, but then I thought about ending tears. Good. Thank you for allowing my spirit to talk. All right.
Emmett Till, may your spirit rest in peace. Next spirit to speak, last but not least, Ali.
Good afternoon. I'm Classic Slade. I changed my name to Muhammad Ali because it was a slave name. I'm full like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Also, pretty like a bee. I'm here to support that Black Lives Matter. Oh Lord, I'm pretty. I'm pretty, I'm pretty. Thank you.
Ali, may your spirit rest in peace. Before I end this, I would like to read February, Black History Month. On February 7, 1926, Carter G. Woodson initiated the first celebration of History to Black History to extend the deepest and the study and scholarship of African American history. Mr. Woodson came to believe that African Americans were tripped, overlooked, ignored, and even suppressed by the writers of history textbooks and the teachers who used them. This month-long observation in the United States and in Canada is a chance to celebrate Black achievement, get first in mind, take stock of what systematic racism presents, and give us visibility to the people and the organizations creating change. We cannot, must not forget those struggled, sacrificed, and died for the progress of Black as well as the progress of all people. We have a history before slavery. We have built this country with blood, sweat, and tears without the conversation, and at times even less respect in our environment as human beings. We need to be proud of ourselves and those who came before us. This short month is focused on the hardship and the accomplishment of African Americans in this country. We want to be reminded that this not only during the day of February, but each and every day of the year. Thank you.
All right, all right.
says Detroit, Chi-Town, NAP, inner city streets of which none belong to me. Yet my blood stains concrete my home and somehow claimed as personal territories. Nat Turner, Medford, Malcolm, and Martin, just a few of the prominent who died, exalting blackness, so you and I would have more opposed to less. When we chose to hustle instead of educate ourselves, we weakened the race and placed the deaths of our ancestors in vain for the so-called easy way. Loyalty and concern for each other cease. Visions of manhood distorted, bleak. Yes, I love all, but for my people, empathy runs deep. There ain't no punk in me. Neither was there any in WEB or Booker T. Senseless killings of each other only increase the confidence of the people who perpetuate oppression of the scared to challenge the real enemy, my brother, is weak. February 1926, Dr. Carter G. Woodson initiated Negro History Week. 78 years later, we celebrate remembrance for a month and a day every year. Recalling history is essential not only to America, but all human existence creates a parity of humility and jubilee. Just 38 years ago, blacks still weren't allowed to vote. Given this piece of history, should black Americans believe equality will genuinely grace us as it does the majority? The answer lies within the supreme being of heaven. The future is untold. The future is untold. We control our destiny. 400 years, black life engulfs struggles and strife. History teaches there is no easy way out. We must persevere, endure. Strength and unity shall provide future opportunities promising to the spiritual eye. Black pride, symbolic of our strides as a people. Material possessions doesn't mean we made it. Futile warrants no emphasis. Things come, things go. Black history remains prevalent as our foundational stronghold unifying the souls of black people.
Right.
Anybody else want to share a poem real quick?
Drum roll, please.
Drum roll, please. Great job. All right. We're going to go to fourth place, third place, and second place, and then first place. And everybody ready?
Yeah.
In fourth place, we have Mr. Frey's group. In third place, we have Miss Taylor's group. In second place, we have Miss Old. And in first place, we have Mr. Beard's group.
Just want to say that everybody is a winner, everybody.
That's right, that's right. Yeah.
Since one of our guys participated from recovery housing, so we wanted him to enjoy the winnings with Mr. Beard Group. So Timmy will, wherever they go or have their award with, you can go with them.
All right. Yeah. They're going to Disney World.
Once again, we just want to say everybody.
We're going to Disney World.
We want to say once again that everybody that participated did an excellent job.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you for allowing me to be the
Yeah.
Chill out. job.
Good job, everybody.
I don't know why, the police have not removed Mr. Gardner from the building.
You might need to get Debo.
As we get prepared to have our lunch, they have a fantastic lunch.
That's right.
That is prepared for each one of us, representing African American History Day. We're going to say a little short prayer. We're going to take a smoke break. We're going to come in and set up for this
Extravagant meal.
all right. All minds clear.